David Ander back, and with the holidays bringing the magic of VR to so many people this year, I've decided to make a video to answer some of the most commonly asked questions I see and provide some tips to help out new and existing Quest users of all ages. If you appreciate this type of content, please like and subscribe. It really helps out a small channel like mine, and it's very much appreciated. So without further ado, on to the video. Something I hope everyone knows about the Quest, and pretty much any VR, is that you never want to let the lenses get exposed to direct sunlight. Now, I'm talking about the lenses you look through, not the cameras on the outside. The outside cameras are fine being exposed to the sun, just like the camera on your cell phone is. But the lenses you look through to see the screen are essentially huge magnifying glasses. Anyone who's played with a magnifying glass in the sun as a kid knows what can happen. If this happens to the screen in your VR headset, you'll end up with permanent visible damage, and sadly there's no way to fix it. So make sure you're careful about protecting your Quest. When not in use, protective lens covers are an excellent option. These are great and serve double duty, protecting your lenses from physical damage as well, especially valuable if you travel often and find your Quest stuffed in with other accessories. If you don't have a lens cover, check the description below for links to one as well as several other must-have accessories. If you don't want to go that route, try to store your Quest with the lenses pointed at a wall. However, make sure there's nothing shiny like a mirror or smooth metal surface on that wall, as directly reflected sunlight is strong enough to damage the screen too. There are some great VR experiences that work best outdoors, but make sure you understand the risk before trying them. While I generally don't advise it, if you want to use your Quest outdoors, try to do so on an overcast day or after the sun has gone down. If possible, remain under some kind of shade cover, and try not to take your headset off your face, as the lenses will be protected as long as you're wearing it. If you do take it off, keep the front of it facing upwards towards the sky to avoid exposing the lenses inside. Now that we've discussed how to protect the screen from damage when sunlight hits the lenses, let's talk about how to protect the lenses themselves. Your VR lenses are your windows into the VR world, and much like a pair of glasses or a TV screen, you don't want them to get damaged, or else your view of what's happening will be impaired. While I've seen recommendations ranging from high-end camera cleaning solutions and one-time wipes to Nerf darts as glasses bumpers, the problem is none of them actually protect your lenses. They just try to avoid directly damaging them. An accidental bump against a thick pair of glasses, or even a well-meaning guest wiping off the lenses with their shirt, is all it takes to forever scratch them. Even a clean microfiber cloth can push a piece of debris around that damages the lenses. The only way to truly protect the lenses is to physically prevent anything from touching them. That's where lens protection film comes into play. For only $3, these are probably the best money you'll ever spend on a VR accessory. I've used these on every VR I have, and my PSVR still has the original ones on it to this day. Still clear as the first day I put them on. Make sure to check the video linked in the description for a review and installation instructions, as they are a bit tricky and you don't want bubbles in your installation. Now that we have protecting the headset out of the way, let's talk about protecting yourself. VR sickness is a very real thing, and most people will find themselves getting nauseous from playing VR the first few times. This is normal, and it's a result of your eyes telling your brain that you're moving while the rest of your senses are telling it that you're standing still. The good news is that for most people, this is something you can eventually work through. It's called getting your VR legs, similar to getting your sea legs, and since it can take longer for some people than others, the important thing is to be patient and take your time getting acclimated. The number one thing is do not push through VR sickness. It's tempting to think, I'll just get to the next save point or just finish this one race. But the moment you start to feel VR sick, you need to immediately stop. Take a break and rest until you feel completely back to normal. Even if this means waiting a day or two, VR sickness can get exponentially worse fast. And once you've gotten really VR sick, your brain will link that feeling to VR, and it'll be hard to convince yourself to try again in the future. So at the first hint of feeling nausea or disorientation, take the headset off, rest, drink a glass of water, and wait it out. There are some things you can try to help fight off VR sickness as you get your VR legs. A common recommendation is to eat something with ginger in it. Ginger candies or gummies have been known to help with nausea, and for many people can reduce or prevent nausea altogether. Another is anti-seasickness bracelets. These function by simulating a pressure point that helps reduce motion sickness and can be used for other situations like if you go for a flight or a long car ride. I've linked to the ones that help my wife in the video description below. Lastly, a common motion sickness trick that worked well for me in the past is to turn on a fan. Even an overhead fan to keep the air moving can help. But if you can put a fan in front of you blowing directly at you, this will likely have a stronger effect as well as keep you oriented to what direction you're facing in the room while playing. Something people often report after using VR for the first time is that the day after playing you feel like your hands aren't your real hands, or you're still looking at a VR screen. This is just your brain adjusting to the experience of VR and the perception of yourself in space when using it. There's nothing you need to do about this other than know it will go away after a day or two. As a side note, this is a good thing to consider when putting young children in VR, as it's not yet known what this kind of experience can have on a young brain as it develops spatial understanding of the world. Remember, the Quest is only officially supported for children 10 and up. I know a lot of parents let their children use VR, so let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I'm curious to know what the take on this is from the VR community out there. On to the next tip. While your Quest has everything you need to get going out of the box, there is one accessory I think everyone should have, and that's rechargeable batteries for your controllers. But bear in mind, not all rechargeable batteries are the same, so you'll want to watch this part through to understand the difference and choose the ones that best fit your needs. Even with the Quest 2 controller batteries lasting for weeks at a time, you will eventually need to change them out. And Quest 3 batteries generally don't last nearly as long. Rechargeable batteries are better for the environment, but also better for your pocketbook. For most people, my advice is to get a 4-pack, so that when your batteries die, you can swap in a fresh set and throw the old ones on the charger without any downtime. If you want to take it a step further, you can make your own recharging station with some magnetic USB charging cables and batteries that have built-in USB recharging ports. I personally use this for all my VR gear, and I'll be covering it in an upcoming video. Make sure to subscribe with the bell icon so you don't miss it. Now, there are a few things to understand about the move to rechargeable batteries, and the biggest one is that they will not be as accurate when it comes to low power warnings. This is because both major types of rechargeable AA batteries have a different voltage curve than alkaline batteries do. While you don't have to know the specifics as to what's happening, just know the low battery warning won't be as reliable as it is with normal batteries. If this is a big concern for you, then you'll want to keep them topped off as you play, possibly switching them out to the charger every play session. The two major types of rechargeable AA batteries on the market currently are NiMH, nickel metal hydride, and lithium rechargeable. NiMH are generally a bit cheaper and can hold more charge, so in theory should last longer in use. However, they run at 1.2 volts instead of the 1.5 volts that AA normally are, and this can cause premature low battery warnings. NiMH batteries are also available in what's called low self-discharge. These stay charged longer while not in use, but generally have a lower capacity and cost more as a result. For most people, I don't think low self-discharge versions will be worth it. Lithium rechargeables use the same battery technology as you find in your laptop and cell phone, but in a standard AA battery size. These also come in two major styles, one with a USB charging port built in, and one that uses an external battery charger. Note that the chargers for these are not the same as the kind you use on regular rechargeable batteries, so you can't just use a charger you have lying around. For this reason, I personally prefer the ones with built-in USB charging. You lose a little capacity because of the space a USB charger takes in the battery, but I find the convenience is well worth it. While these batteries run at a full 1.5 volts, they don't slowly die like alkaline batteries. Rather, they suddenly drop from full power to off, sometimes with no warning. So with these especially, you need to keep yourself ready to change out batteries or use the charging method outlined before to keep them topped off in the controller. You can decide what works best for you, but suffice it to say, getting a set of rechargeable batteries is an investment that will pay for itself many times over. And the last tip is potentially the biggest one most people don't know about. This tip is what got me to try several awesome games I never would have otherwise, and it could save you some serious money. The MetaQuest store offers easy, automated refunds for most game purchases and gifts. Just open the Meta app on your phone, click Settings, Purchase History, select the app, and click Request Refund. Refunds are automatically granted within a few business days as long as you meet a few simple criteria. 1. You must not have played the game for more than 2 hours. 2. You made the purchase less than 2 weeks ago. 3. You have not previously refunded this game. And that's it. As long as you meet those criteria, you can try out any game you're interested in, knowing that if you don't like it, you can get a refund quickly and easily. Note that this does not apply to bundles or movies, and there is a limit on how many times you can do this. While I don't think it's set in stone, the general rule is not more than 5 refunds per month per account. If you start abusing this process, they might limit your ability to refund, so be reasonable with it and use it to test out games you think you might like. Don't try to turn it into a game rental tool. I've linked the official page in the description below if you want to check out the details. As a bonus tip, if you haven't already, make sure to watch my previous video on sharing games between headsets. It could save you even more money. You can find a link to it as well as all the products I've discussed in this video in the description below. So that's it for this guide. There's so many other points I wanted to cover, but I'll be saving those for a future video. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it when it comes out. If there's anything you wanted to see addressed that I didn't cover, post a comment below and let me know. I might be able to answer it for you, and I might make it a point in my next video. As always, thanks for watching.